Massenomics. Welcome to Massenomics, the world's strongest podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Massenomics. Make sure you go visit Massenomics.com. There you'll find the rest of our powerful content. While you're there, check out our store and buy yourself some of that sweet Massenomics gear.
Red light. I mean, stop, right?
Yep, it means stop podcasting. All right, so guys, you guys just missed this, but Tanner was filling us in on his learning disability.
Yeah.
I'm handicapped.
So
and
we're talking
all the challenges he's overcome.
Yeah, so we're
to get
a
talking
lot
to
of
this.
adversity to get to this point.
How many years were you in speech therapy?
I was in speech therapy for probably 2 or 3. It's a little blurry for me. I try to block out that point in time in my life. And it was for one letter, my S's.
That's interesting.
A real deal breaker.
We speech therapy, they'd call you special out of class.
So everyone knew that, like, man, this guy's so bad at the letter S.
What
Special Tanner and his S's.
Like the speech therapist comes and gets you, and it's like, oh man, what's he going to do? Like,
What's he gonna do to that kid?
Leaving history class to go, and we would play Battleship because of the S's. You sunk my ship. So I'm still not sure if I say my S's right.
I guess I wouldn't have said anything until you brought it up now, but I'm gonna be paying
Now,
attention.
yeah, now we're and everybody that's listening is going to be paying real solid attention to your S's.
So it's a pretty big deal for me to go at one stage in my life in speech class to co-hosting a podcast, which is audio only, just
That
talking.
anywhere from 2 to 10 people listen to
Yeah.
at any given time.
Yeah.
And S is one of the most common letters in the all of English.
When I had
RSTLNE.
when I had Scott McGee on, Scott has a part of a false tooth because he had his tooth knocked out somehow, some way. So every once in a while he'll say an F and it'll whiffle. You know. Yeah. So at the beginning I tried to have him do the intro that was you're listening to the Massenomics podcast.
A lot of S's.
And he's like, that's too many S's. That's too many S's. So I think that last bit is actually on the recording. But
Yeah, it is.
but yeah, so Tanner's overcome an awful lot of adversity.
A lot of adversity to get here. You know, being a white male with a speech impediment, with a slight speech issue.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Tommy, how dumb were you when you were a child?
Not that dumb. I haven't had to
Pretty dumb, but nothing like that.
So any special class?
I haven't had to overcome any major speech adversity, so I don't have much of an interesting story, really. It'd just be a waste of time.
And my childhood is no comment.
It's just a dark place.
It's just really, really uneventful. Shit.
Speaking of eventful,
Yeah, let's hear it.
I think Tanner is currently in the middle of a bit of a lifting rivalry.
I do.
yeah.
There's a thing. We have a thing.
There is a thing.
And as we're speaking, we're literally right in the we're in the thick of it
That's
right now.
This is a good time to talk about it because this has been building, and we're really getting to some maybe uncharted waters for a lot of people.
Yeah. We're what's going on is myself and Governor Eve Baca have had this back and forth over social media, over Facebook and Instagram, posting lifting videos, kind of like, hey, I did this. What can you do more than this? And it started with he did a trap bar carry of I don't know how much.
Where did it start?
It was-
Like
it was
5?
Or maybe I did one first. I think I did. Maybe he did one. I can't remember.
This is how long it's been in the working now.
I will say that this is a friendly back, and it's not
But
like
this started probably, a month ago?
a month or two maybe. And I did something, and then I did like a 500-pound carry back and forth, or he did, and I did. I think maybe he did 500. I did 550. Then he did 600, and I did 600. He did like 585, and then I did 600. And then he got a big special trap bar because the last one he did, when he did 585, he had to duct tape his plates all together to get enough
And
on.
most trap bars are not designed for like 600 and 700 pound lifts.
No, I don't think so. But now he has this one that's like 8 foot long. Like it's the collars on it are probably each about 4 foot long, I think. So I think he could probably fit 1,000 pounds on there if he wanted to. But then he did this just the trap bar deadlift of 700 pounds. So
Really up the
or
ante.
705. He did 705.
Yeah, because that was a fairly good jump from what you guys were doing before.
Yeah,
but I suppose you quit doing the carries.
Yeah, which that's a lot.
Were you tempted though to you could win it by just lifting the heavier one and then carrying it?
That would not be that easy. like you saying that sentence is easy, but like
That's
actually,
why
yeah.
I'm saying it and not doing it.
Yeah. So he did 705, and he challenged me to 710. But I saw the way he did 705. I know he's gonna be able to do much more than that. So I did 735 to make him have to make a more significant jump, and he did 750 just hours ago. It appears.
Yeah.
Or he posted it just hours ago. I'm guessing he probably did it today. So now I have to do more than 750 in order to keep it going.
And didn't you say that it's not so much the legs, it's the hands that could be the limiting factor here?
For me, it is definitely the hands. That trap bar we have, the handles are about the diameter of toothpicks. It feels
it's like a golf club grip almost.
Yeah.
It's very narrow.
So it really rips into your hands. Like it actually, I have a cut on my hand still from the last time. It was like
And this isn't from knurling either.
No. It's just like
the knurling's long since worn off.
Yeah. And here's the thing: he did that 705, and his trap bar, the handles are up quite a bit higher. You know, ours, the handles are even with the plate, so it'd put it at 9 inches off the ground like a standard barbell. His was, so I had him measure his because I didn't want
unfair.
Yeah, so his was 17. So I rigged up these boxes and everything and got it up there, and it's not that easy to load all these weights on the trap bar deadlift, and I'm having
And then onto boxes on top.
110-pound plates and the 100-pound plates just to get enough on there. And then, so I get 735. I did like 650, and that was easy. So I was like, I'll put 735 on there. Worked out to a good number. And I set my camera to start recording, or not my camera, but my phone, iPhone.
And you also did this when no one was around.
Yeah, the
so
gym
you
was
didn't have any
completely empty.
assistance in this.
No, so it was really taking me a while to get myself like pumped up to do it because my hands were already hurting from all my warm up ones to work up to this point to make sure I could do it. So it was like a minute and a half of me kind of pacing back and forth and, trying to get myself pumped up with no one else in the gym, getting just the right Metallica.
Just the loudest Katy Perry music you could legally play.
I wanted to come in like a wrecking ball. But so I did it, and I got it, and it went good, and I set it down, and I was like, oh. The second I set it down, I was like, oh, my God, that hurt my hands. I'm so glad I got that. Went over to my phone. Well, actually, I took all my stuff off because I have to be like the bionic man if I'm trying anything over a couple 100 pounds. So I was like, take my belt and sleeves and all this crap off, and then go to check the recording. I was like, I gotta make sure I got it and everything. And I watched the whole thing. It's 1 minute and 50 seconds. I'm watching. I get to the end, just to where I bend over to grab the bar to pick it up off the ground, and it stops. And I was like, what the fuck? I had to play it like 7 times to make sure that that's what was happening.
Where's the bonus features at?
It's like, well, maybe it's so long it cut it into 2 clips. And it had just run out. I have so many videos on here from like us podcasting and stuff like that. I have like 40 gig of videos.
It's basically a video recorder.
Yeah. So I even shut my phone off and booted it back up to hope that it was gonna
magically
panicking.
hidden in the space special storage area.
and it didn't. So then I had to go through this whole thing and do it all again because I didn't feel like I could just take a picture of it and be like, guys, I did this.
You can't do that for lifting weights. Like,
trust me, I did it. The recording died the second before I picked it up.
But it went really well.
Even when you were telling me this story, I'm like, I think Eve beat him, and he's like afraid to admit it.
And so I set it all. I got all my crap back on and got myself pumped up again, and did it again, and it went about the same. It might have been a little harder the second time because I had mentally gotten out of it by that point. But I did it, but now I have to do more.
So what would you have done if that second time you recorded and it still didn't go through?
That would have been it for that day. It had cut my hand at that point, so I was like, this is not fun right now. But so I think that bar we have, I figured I could I had, the last plates I had on there were all the way butted up to the ends. I could just barely fit a clip halfway on there.
Yep.
But I think I could get up to 795 on there.
With that, that's with substituting out 45s for the 55
I have
kilo
all
plates.
Well, I have all 55s on there. It's just the very last plate I had on there was a 25.
Oh,
if
so
I put 55 in that place,
instead of the 25,
I'd get 60
Okay.
more pounds out of it, 795. But if I just go to switch that 25 out with a 35, I'm at 755.
Right.
Would have them by 5 pounds. If I switched them out with 45s instead, I'd be at 775. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm thinking. By the time this comes out, we'll know.
You guys could be in the 900s.
Yeah,
No one will
well,
ever-
or I could have not ever done more than 735.
or your arms just ripped off of your body.
Like that Saturday Night Live sketch when
With Hans and Franz.
their
their
arms literally rip off. Speaking of really heavy lifting stuff,
Yeah, so there was some big news. Was it today?
yeah,
Or was it last night?
Last night. So this will be old news by now too, but
Yeah, so Big Z has had to drop out of the Arnold, practicing the super yoke.
Which is a major bummer because I was really excited to see him there lifting.
When I read this, I was like, no, you're gotta be kidding me.
It's like the day I found out Kurt Cobain killed himself. Like, man, that's a big deal. Said 7-year-old Tyler.
I'm not sure the implications of this, but I think it's big.
I did also notice though in this video that
He looks
that
huge
Big
again?
Z has gotten some good bloat back in.
Oh, yeah.
he was really peaking.
Oh yeah, he has the belly and his neck is significantly
Yeah.
larger than.
He is much bigger than he was even a couple weeks ago.
But didn't he say this was like a 700-pound super yoke or 700-kilo super yoke? It was something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
which-
710
Like
kilos.
1,500 pounds.
By my math, that's 1,000,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That's so much.
1,500 pounds is a lot.
What did they do for the super yoke at the Arnold?
Like that much? It's insanely
I thought
heavy.
it was like 11 or 12.
Oh, maybe it is 12,
Like
yeah.
I
that.
wouldn't have ever guessed that was.
But
even a thing they could
explain the injury that he got from that.
So this injury was trying to practice the super yoke, 710 kilos, squeezed his nerves, and then disconnected his deltoid muscle. Now, does that mean it disconnected his nerves from his deltoid so he can't control it? Is that what that
I
is?
don't. Yeah.
See, I didn't understand that either.
So-
Like, I can see, like, if something goes out or, like, you compress, like, a vertebrae in your back and it, like, pinches or squeezes a nerve. I get that part, but I don't know if that's, like, related to the deltoid thing.
So I wonder if he pinched a nerve and then isn't able to like use his deltoid muscle.
Yeah,
you know?
or also tore his deltoid in the
Right.
process.
What's crazy to me is, basically, in a nutshell, he had something on his back that's so insanely heavy. Like, it wasn't like his delt wasn't moving,
No.
like he was stationary, but just the weight of what he was carrying was so insanely heavy that it just like squeezed his nerve and like.
And when you watch the video, you want to be like, Sojournas, don't take the squat rack.
Yeah, what are you
Leave
doing?
it in the gym.
We were gonna squat on that.
How much do you suppose our squat rack weighs
Oh,
with the weight we have?
the big
on it?
one. You mean
big
the
one.
heavy one?
God.
Yeah.
Well,
How about empty? No plates on it.
I don't know. It might weigh. It definitely weighs over 500 pounds.
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna
saying
say-
like maybe it weighs 1,000 pounds. Probably not 1,000,
Yeah.
but what do you think?
I'm guessing it's probably like 500 pounds.
yeah.
yeah.
And how much weight do we got on there?
Oh,
Do we have 1,000 pounds of weight on there?
Oh,
There's probably 545s on each side.
So that's 504. Yeah,
And
there's
then
probably-
yeah.
you're 25.
Yeah.
So he's lifting maybe not our biggest fully loaded squat
Yeah,
rack and walking,
but
it,
probably our medium
medium-sized
one.
Yeah, with all the plates.
and just taking it.
It's like, hey, we still had a set left.
Yeah.
Like, don't just run away with that.
Jesus, Big Z.
That's pretty crazy.
But that's a shame, and I don't know. Like, do you suppose he'll still be at the Arnold at least? That's a question. Like, do they?
Well, I
even
would assume
show
he has a
up for
plane
that?
ticket booked at this point.
They got
you kinda
sponsors.
have to. So even if he was just there, that would be really cool.
Maybe
too.
there'll be more time for us to chat. I mean,
I'm
we were
assuming-
all planning on sitting down together as it was, but
Yeah, well,
like
because
now,
we're mostly all best friends with him.
I mean, I haven't talked to him today, so I haven't heard about the injury yet. But like last,
But I got
Friday
like two
when-
missed calls
yeah.
from him when it happened.
he's like, "Hey, Tanner,
I said I hate to
my
disappoint
deltoid."
Yeah, you know how my deltoids are.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a shame because I was looking forward to seeing him this year.
Yeah.
And somebody else got hurt training for it too. But at the Arnold, it's actually what is it? Isn't it like it's a yoke carry, but it's like big old bales. It's like hay bales on each side or something.
And this is the heaviest yoke that I think any strongman competition carries as far as, so that's like,
Until you guys go to yours in 2 weeks.
yeah.
Or in a
Well, we don't
month.
get to do a yoke, but if it was, it would be more than that.
Right.
Like,
That's to scale.
I've carried one once, so. But as my one point of reference is I did a 700-pound one. That's like the one day.
Kilo or pound?
Oh yeah, he did 700 kilo. I did 700 pounds.
It's like, yeah, I did 700 once.
I worked up, I started at like 400 and I was like, that's kind of heavy. It's like, it's still like you're waltzing around with, it's like the instability in like your legs certainly takes some getting used to. And I just kept slowly working up and got up to 700 pounds. And that was my limit for like on my first time trying it. I could carry it from A to B without 25, 30 feet without stopping, but I got really slow at that. Like it just felt really dangerous. Like it does not surprise me that people could get hurt doing
People
it.
aren't made for that.
I remember, I'm not sure if it was on our podcast or another podcast, but I remember listening to Julian from Strong Fit talking about carrying a heavy yoke, and he said he would walk and he could like feel his femurs bending under the weight, and it just
that makes
you.
And a goofy thing for me is I like where to put the thing on your back.
Yeah.
Like, I might normally squat a little bit more low bar, but it feels weird.
It doesn't work that way.
And then the bar's way bigger anyways. Isn't it?
Right. Yeah, it's way bigger around. Yeah, so it doesn't feel anything like it anyways.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing. So what do you got, talking about like, not me and Eve specifically, but just like gym competition lifting like that, like in a friendly sense? Do you think is there a lot of that in CrossFit? Do you think that sort of thing? Like
I guess I don't know. I'm sure not good enough at much of anything in CrossFit. Like if someone called me out, it'd be fucking really mean. You know what I mean? If they're like, I bet you can't fucking do 10 hands, I'd be like, I know.
Like, you prick.
Thanks for fucking bringing it up,
asshole.
But I did notice there's a really funny kind of I don't know how long it's been going on. I just found it today, but games. I think he finished 4th at the games. Brent Fikowski was him, and I think it's Patrick Vellner. They've been like talking shit to each other.
Friendly
or yes.
Okay.
Oh.
But in a really good way. It's God. I'm totally unprepared for this right now though. But basically, like they'll post pictures of each other when they first started CrossFit, and I think he posted Vellner posted a picture of Fikowski's deadlift. And he's like, "Look at that, it's just a skinny guy abs, and what a wuss." And then a couple like real people came on there and were like trying to defend him because they didn't know who he was. They were like, "I gotta type, so you guys have to talk about this."
Well, can we talk about your typing though while we're at it?
Well, I'm
Oh
not.
man.
I think we've discussed the old hunt and peck method before on
It's
there.
not the case.
It's not what I
You
do,
guys
guys.
are dicks. So yeah, now on Patrick Vellner's page, he's posting pictures of just Fikowski all the time. So this one here is a picture of them doing a team competition.
Jumping higher.
When I was flashback Friday to when I was clearly jumping higher than Fikowski because I am a superior athlete. In his defense, I think he was tired, so I carried all the worm for the next bit.
In his defense, I think he was tired. Like that's just another backhanded slam. Like,
And I don't know. Oh man, I wonder if he might have got so much shit for the deadlift one that he pulled it, or if there was someone else in on it with him. But yeah, so that's about all I actually kind of think it sucks that nobody in CrossFit legitimately talks any shit like to the other guys, like
the games athletes.
There's no
and
like
stuff
true real rivalries.
yeah. Well, I guess if you're having those types of competitions at your own gym, you're probably kind of being a dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But I mean, amongst like actual competitive athletes, I
Like
think
Matt Frazier saying that Ben Smith is
yeah, like
a bitch,
there
or-
should be a little bit of shit talking, you know. They need CrossFit needs a Ron Artest.
Yeah, that
You know?
person
to go out into the stage and punch in the crowd and punch some people.
Just once.
That would have to come. That will have to come up eventually. Like
I
in
would
enough
think
time,
so.
there'll be the right personality in there that's like, no,
Yeah.
I think these guys suck.
Yeah.
Like some people are just like that and
Yeah.
aren't afraid to call a spade if that if that's the case.
Was that a race thing you just did there, Tanner?
Not really following
Just
that one.
You know.
There's some undertones.
But yeah. So, what about you, Tommy? Do you do any other than just your average pissing matches with your brother?
Do I? No. I don't do anything. No. Not really.
You and Corey kind of have maybe a
Oh,
little.
I did. I did
yeah.
like to chip at Corey for a while
Yeah.
because Corey kind of got the CrossFit Corey title,
Yeah.
and then from there was like this was a couple of years ago. It was his birthday, and I made a meme, and it was just these guys doing like deadlifts together, and it said like "Happy birthday, Corey! Have the wad of your life." And he was like offended. He's like, "I don't do CrossFit. Like, what is the deal here?" And then I kept telling him that I was like coming for his total and all that stuff. And so that was the most that's ever happened. But it was a lot of fun while that was going on.
What do you think about toe shoes?
I think they're awful. I just saw this picture.
Awfully good?
That's what.
Is that what it's about?
That's what.
Okay.
I saw that pop up on my
That's what
Discover
this guy
page.
was making fun of Fikowski for some picture from a long time ago when he was wearing toe shoes and lifting weights.
And using a mixed grip.
Using a mixed grip to pull 135 pounds.
That is a good point.
And with his skinny person abs.
What is the thing with toe shoes? Like
I have
what?
no fucking idea.
The one that I don't understand though is I don't think like under IPF standards that they're legal.
Okay.
Which I don't really understand why having like your toes separate versus together. It almost seems like it'd be a disadvantage for some reason I don't know.
Right.
I just don't understand why they're not legal. Maybe it's just because
They're so fucking ugly.
I would say maybe the fashion police have the IPF are so against it. Like, we already have the most rules. We can't have the ugliest lifters too. So toe shoes are out.
We allow you to wear those really old, lame-looking lifting boots.
Yeah.
But you can't. Like that's crossing the line.
Yeah.
By the way, whose ridiculous old lifters are tucked away in the corner in our entryway?
I'm not positive whose those are.
I've never
Have I-
seen
have
anyone
I seen
wear them.
these?
What brand are those? Even
I don't even
Okay.
know. I
Okay.
tried looking at them.
Have I seen these
I couldn't
before?
figure them out.
No, they're in the cardio room.
Oh,
Like hid away in a table where no one can see them.
I'm gonna do some investigating tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about those. Hey, I this weekend, Tyler, I know you've been there before, and now that I have been too, I can grasp what you were saying more, or I'd like to hear more about it.
Is this your story about a gay bar?
Yeah, it was like just the other weekend where you talking about how you go to those gay bars,
You know,
and I finally got the chance to go this weekend. I've been dying to.
I really like to dance. Nobody judges me there, Tanner.
Don't we all?
The indoor trampoline parks or
Yes.
whatever.
Oh.
I did that this weekend, and oh my god, that my calves were on fire. Is
Yeah.
that a thing? Like
Like
did
the
you notice-
entire time or afterwards?
within 5 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I was like almost couldn't walk because my calves were like locked up.
You were probably way more active than I was. Like when I went and I did a couple of like flips into the ball pit, and it was exhausting getting out of all them foam blocks. It was the fucking worst fucking
Thank
thing.
you. I'm glad you tried that too. I wanted to ask about that.
So I would get there and I would get in it and I would flip into the thing and I posted a video of it on Instagram and then cut it because what was next
a struggle
was
fest?
like 45 seconds of me trying to get out through this sea of foam blocks, and every time I tried to like push down to
got
push
sunk
myself
in
up,
by
you'd
the-
push the blocks,
Yeah.
so you just get further and further. So you had to like shimmy your way up, and it was fucking awful.
No. My son, Jack, he's 5. He jumped in, like floats on top of all of the foam. Like not one gets on top of him. He crawls over to the edge, like zips right up. And my wife did it kind of the same thing. Like she didn't, fall in. Like she
Yeah.
kind of got right back out. I jumped in and I kind of did like a cannonball thing. And my wife even said like, you could not see me. Like I went like,
It was like
to the bottom of the
cement
4-foot thing.
blocks you.
And I immediately was like not even funny. I was like
In a panic.
in a panic. Like I've never felt claustrophobic before. And I was like, oh, holy shit. Like I'm stuck.
Kids are gonna start jumping in here.
seriously, like I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I was like grasping away at these foam things, and just like you said, like every step I took, I could
Just
swear
made it
that I was
worse.
going farther down.
Yeah.
I finally got over to the edge, and then
And then you're like, I can't do pull-ups.
I was like, shit, like, why isn't there a ladder here? Like, and how is this so easy for my 5-year-old? Because now I can, like, and I got out, and they're like, oh, let's go again. And I was like, no,
there's no
not
fucking
going
way.
back in there. Like, that was traumatic for me. So,
When you were there, was the one you were at totally crowded?
oh yeah, there's a person on every single square.
Was it kind of expensive?
Oh yeah, it was. Well,
Because I had,
mean, everything
for
is
us to have
expensive,
maybe
so.
like like for us to have maybe like an hour. This was in Canada, but so I don't know how it works to real dollars. But my guess was it was about like $50 for the three of us for an hour.
Yeah, we went for. See, what we did is we signed up for a half an hour. We paid for a half hour, and then we showed up 45 minutes early and got signed up, and like we just went and stood out there, and we asked one of the guys there, like, so how does this work? Do we just wait till 4:30 to go? And they're like, no, you can probably just go whenever. Nobody cares. And I was like, oh yeah, these people are probably getting paid minimum wage.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They don't
Like,
care at all.
They're like, as long as you're not being a jerk or
Yeah,
something.
Like, don't
Making their lives hell.
yeah.
They're just like, don't make me do anything.
Exactly. So
You stay out of the bathroom.
it cost like $30 or
Yeah.
something. Did they have a basketball hoop thing too?
Yes.
Did you
and-
do that?
No, because it was further back in there, and there was so many kids, and it was
Yeah.
busy to where when I was at the one, it was busy to where as an adult, like if I was on the trampoline, I felt a little bit guilty for the amount of real estate I was
Yeah,
taking up, and then plus the extreme danger to any children that happened to be bouncing by.
Yeah.
So for me to like trot my ass all the way through to the far end where the basketballs were would have been, I'd have put a lot of kids' lives
Yeah.
at risk.
I know now that I knew my agility was fairly poor before.
Yeah.
This highlighted it to the nth extent. If I was a character on Madden, like when you make your own characters, my agility bar would be at 0 because I could jump pretty cool and good and real high, like as long as I'm staying
Yeah.
it
Straight
just
up
in
and
my
down.
thing, I'd be cool. But if I got a little off, I mean, I'd go blasting across like 6 of those squares without being able, like my brake. I don't know how you put the brakes on. It's just
Yeah.
like gets crazy, wild, dangerous.
I think that's where you get hurt doing something like that too, is like trying to stop yourself.
Yeah.
Like if you're moving forward and then like, oh, I'm going to shut it down here. And then you blow out your fucking knee.
That I could seriously, like when we left, I was like, cool. I made it the whole time and actually didn't get hurt. Like
Yeah.
that was a win. I'm glad
There
it was
was
fun, but I'm glad it's
Probably like every half hour when we were at the one I was at, there was a kid that was leaving. So like a kid would leave in tears with a bloody nose or, I'm sure like it's got to be, what do you suppose, twice a week that
Broken
a child
leg,
leaves there
broken
and
arm.
goes immediately to the
Yeah.
emergency
Oh,
room
yeah.
after.
No doubt.
Like their waivers must be ironclad.
Oh man.
But they must make a lot of fucking money because I was kind of counting around there and I'm doing the math. There was like a few hundred people in the building when we were there. You know,
At like $10 for a half hour per person.
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. And a lot of them were there for, I was just equating every person to about $20,
Yeah.
And their expenses, the building and
Trampoline
equipment you get
build-out.
started. Yeah, I mean, and then
that's probably an expensive
Yeah.
build out, but then
and then paying
bunch of teenagers
a bunch of teenagers
who
$10 an hour.
All they have to do is know how to call 911.
It's like being a lifeguard, but way less serious.
yeah.
Unless Tanner's drowning in the ball pit.
You can't find the ladder.
So that basketball hoop thing, I don't know how high the hoop was. It felt way higher to me than like a 10-foot basketball hoop.
Yeah.
Like at one point in my life, I could dunk a basketball and I didn't feel like insanely scared to fall down from, it's like felt normal to come back to the ground, And this, it wasn't the height of getting up there. It was like when I was up there,
Now what?
yeah, like the recoil back to the ground, just that same thing. Like I have no brakes. Like like it's scary being up that high and weighing this much. Like
Yeah, I don't
good
think
things
it's that
happen.
scary if you're not that heavy.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, I think.
Do you guys remember? I hope if you guys are too young for this, I'm gonna go. Do you remember slam ball?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
roast
yeah,
sandball.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Good.
I was thinking about that when I was
The
out
whole
there. I was
time.
like, holy shit, how are those guys doing
A
that?
while ago, I saw there was an ad on Craigslist and somebody had a fully functional slam ball court with the cage and all that you could buy for like $5,000.
Oh.
And I was like, I for real like had the conversation with my wife. I'm like, Megan, listen, this is gonna sound crazy, but
Crazy
Can
awesome.
we buy the slam ball?
but I
court?
think we should buy the slam ball court. And I was like, I did it like anytime I really want something. I was like, listen, you got to look past how weird it sounds.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we'd put it, but we're not going to get this opportunity again.
How'd that work out
I
for
did
you?
not get to buy the slam ball.
Well, I
court.
haven't been in your backyard playing slam ball yet, so I assume you didn't get that. Either that, or you've been
Could you-
like
been
really holding
holding
out,
out from
especially
us?
over this conversation, and not bringing it up. Like, oh yeah, I've got
So
one of
this
those.
summer at Massenomics slam ball tournament. I fucking couldn't believe that sport was a thing though, because those guys are like 20 feet in the air. You know, their head,
Yeah.
their feet are above the rim, and there's like another person, like the foul shots. It's just 1-on-1. You run at each other.
Jump
and
as
one
high
guy,
as you
one
possibly
guy
can.
jumps
Really?
as high as he,
yeah.
one guy jumps as high as he can, and is just gonna fucking dunk it. And another guy stands there and goes, "All right, ready?" And he just jumps up, and you just try to meet in the air,
Like
and
there
you
would be-
like chuck them out of the way. And
There's
like,
guys on the team that were like defender guys. Like their job was just to like
just to check
just
you.
to
Yeah.
beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, I do not remember that
And-
sport good enough.
I mean, an elbow and knee pad only does so much when you're falling from 20 in like a padded
Right.
surface. Like
And
it
there
still
was
hurts
still like hardwood in
Yeah.
areas, like in the at half court
that you could run through a
'Cause
little
you,
bit,
like,
get
kind
a
of
sprint
had to-
going into
'cause
your.
I think you kind of had to dribble, but you could only dribble like twice.
Yeah.
I think if you dribbled twice,
And then you got like so many steps after dribble before you could hit the trampoline.
but you couldn't just sit there and handle the ball a bunch.
No,
'Cause
no.
They were like, it's got to get moving.
Yeah.
But you could sit there and you get a guy with a full head of steam hitting a trampoline. You just fucking chuck that thing up there and see what happens. It was the most. It was like watching a human version of NBA Jam. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's heating up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. And I actually think they tried to bring it back, and it was on some weird network like just a few years ago. And like any true fan, I didn't bother to watch any of
Yeah.
it, but it's good to talk about, I guess.
Hey, memories.
That's right.
Memories.
Tanner, did you bring us anything for today?
Oh, we got a little sack segment.
We do. All right.
And this
Back
is
back by popular demand.
Yeah, Tommy, you can close your eyes. Tyler, another time you probably don't get to participate in the eye
always-
close
Oh,
I've
segment.
really?
seen the
How am I
sack.
always the newbie to
Well,
this?
it's just
You got to get more familiar with
Yeah.
Tanner's sack.
Okay.
Tyler's
okay.
been in there and dug around a few times. Like he doesn't even wait for the show. Sometimes he comes over and just gets in on it. All right.
Oh, could it be?
Can you feel what color it is? Can you feel what color it is?
These legendary blue pants? Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you brought these because I wanted to talk about these this week.
Yeah.
The rumor has it several of you guys, when I say several, I mean you two, were recent owners of blue Reband warm pants.
I pulled it off, guys.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week, and I fucking totally
So let's see
pulled it
these
off.
hogs.
So Tyler and I both got a pair now.
Did you try yours on?
I did. I had to today. They came in like before I left for this
Is your
weekend.
sweat in these things right now?
No, I just had them on.
Yes.
That's why I felt like it was okay.
The answer is
Yeah.
yes, though, because if you wore them for even a moment,
You got sweaty.
Your sweat is in them.
But I figured this would be the one time it's okay to bring these as the segment because I haven't worked out in them yet. So.
Now, the thing about them here's the thing that I noticed is
I like to say the tag. I like the tag. Reband. Old basic warm pants.
and the
What a
tag
terrible marketing.
and the
Like,
tag is on the
old basic.
outside.
Yeah, old and basic.
yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. So that's the tag on the outside.
In my in here, hopefully you guys can see it on the video here if this turns out. But yeah, the tag is on like the front side.
Yeah, right next to
And
the
it's
drawstring.
right next to the drawstring, about a couple inches off center, and it's just hangs out the front. I was actually kind of thought for a minute, I was like, oh well, maybe mine is different. Maybe they fucked mine up.
Yeah.
But now that I saw yours,
I
apparently that's
wanted to
normal.
find out if that's what yours were like.
So
too.
then I had to look and see, because remember we had seen the black ones. And I was like, oh, well, maybe they're reversible. And turn
Yep.
them inside out. And they look, I think the stitching is weird. So I
Yeah.
don't believe them to be reversible. And the outside, I think, is a different material that would be a little rougher on the old twig and berries.
Well, so another question for you, having tried them on, what is the appropriate undergarment when you're wearing the warm
So
pants?
the first time
Anything?
the first time I tried them on was with nothing.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking that there would literally be ball sweat pouring out of the bottom of them. Like it would be running out of the bottom.
Like a faucet. Like you'd undo the tightness on one
just
pant
like
leg.
open up and water would run out.
Yeah, for real. So and then I did some looking, and it's basically the general consensus you want to wear like some
Compression
sort of
shorts
compression or water
Yeah.
wicking. So I think my regular like spandex boxer briefs
that
are
makes sense.
what you'd
It's
want
got
to
to be
wear
something
underneath.
pretty tight though, because when I put them on, I didn't have tight. I had underwear on that was
Yeah.
kind of loose, and it's like not comfortable.
yeah.
Not gonna like.
Yeah, they'll have to be tight.
Yeah.
Once you have them.
Spandex seems like a natural fit for these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, but they fit really good.
Yeah.
I don't look as ridiculous in them as I expected to.
No, you're kind of like, ooh,
I was like,
maybe I'm cool looking.
Can I wear these to the pool?
So I gotta say, initial impressions are the seams are the most heavy duty seams I've ever seen on anything. Ever
What are you
created.
counting? Like 6 stitches?
Well, yeah, I don't know what that is, but Under Armour doesn't have that in their
No.
stitching abilities.
That reminds me. The only thing it slightly reminds me of is like the SBD knee sleeve.
Yeah, that's a kind of what
seam.
it looks like, and yeah, that's just mega heavy duty. And I think they're slightly thinner than I thought. I was thinking it was gonna be like knee sleeve thick, which is good because knee sleeve thick would be like unbearable.
If
Yeah.
these were any swampier, it'd be a problem. So,
Yeah.
how long did you have yours on? I mean, just
Oh.
enough to pose in front of the mirror and maybe walk around, do a couple
try
squats.
it on
Right?
with a shirt, without a shirt.
Yeah.
You know, the
I
standard.
determined that after dinner I cannot wear them without a shirt for sure. But yeah. So I really liked them. I wore them for a little bit. I am looking forward to actually I think lifting in them.
Yeah.
I
I wonder,
think
did you squat
especially-
with them this week? Or
No, I
Okay.
didn't. And so I was going to, and I just kind of was like, maybe I don't want to come out a little too hot with them.
I might be wearing mine tomorrow. I'm
I think
deadlifting
I'm gonna.
tomorrow, and
don't
I think
know
I'll
why not.
probably wear mine on Friday. So make sure you turn yours inside out so we're not wearing the same color on Friday.
no, blue's a necessity. Like if you're going for rebound warm pants,
The
you
blue
get
is
blue.
what it's got to be.
I mean, last time I lifted with my good friend Brad Gillingham at Jackal's Gym, he was wearing them for his workout. So, and that was our good friend Brad Gillingham of Jackal's
and
Gym.
he's a champion,
yeah,
world champion at
that's
that.
right.
Now
Our friend.
I want to lift in them, and then I need to figure out because I do want to wear them for the strongman competition.
Right.
That's
right,
that's
for
the,
sure.
the
That's
reason I bought them.
Same.
But then I'm thinking like I could for sure handle wearing them during like an hour and a half at the gym. Mm-hmm. But for what could be 4.5 hours of waiting and
Is
then
that
lifting,
too much warm pants? Is that
I
what
think
you're
it
saying?
might be. I might
Well,
treat
I
it
get
like a knee sleeve where I just like I'll be
heat
wearing
rash on my sack.
I'll be wearing. We'll be wearing tights underneath, and I'll have shorts with me. Like if there's breaks
Are you
between
gonna wear
competitions.
full length tights under them? You think?
No, like
just-
just like.
yeah.
And I think between competition, now that you mentioned that, I think I might take these off and just put on shorts. Like if there's, I don't know I have absolutely no idea what this is going to be like.
My
so-
worry though is even if there's 20 minutes, like a respectable amount of time, is we might be out there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Like that's gonna be a long time in those.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
It's gonna be real
And,
stinky by the end of the day.
I'm probably gonna like throw some sweats on over the top to keep
Yeah.
the rest of me.
Yeah.
So just so I'm not sitting around in weird spandex shorts,
Mm-hmm.
leaving weird, gross spandex butt sweat prints all over everything.
We're gonna look so cool though, aren't we?
For sure. and if we both wear the same color Massenomics shirt and hold hands when we walk in.
Yeah, people are gonna wonder how long you've been together. I'm also impressed by the drawstring that has the I don't know what you call this thing, the cinch on it, the one where you can.
I like
pinch it
that
to close it.
drawstring though.
Yeah,
Like, that
is also a heavy duty
yeah.
drawstring.
And like putting it on, I'm glad that that's there. Like that,
Yeah.
you know.
If you had to have a knot, it'd be a totally different story.
Yeah.
So
Excellent though.
from not having used them, just looking over the build quality and wearing them a little bit, they're 10 out of 10 for me. Are you putting them on?
No, you guys keep talking. I got one other. I remembered
Okay.
one other like just quick sack item.
Are you putting
like-
them on?
Well, Tanner takes off his headphones, scoots back the
And
chair,
just
and,
starts
he's-
smiling.
He's like, "Guys, it's time. I'm gonna throw these fucking things on." And the sizes are pretty much true to like
That's what I was gonna ask
exactly
too.
what they are.
It did turn out how you expected.
Yeah, I looked and it showed that
Was it
I
by waist
should
size?
have
Is
an. I believe like waist size, height, and body weight was kind of what they went with. And on these, I believe it was like I was definitely an extra large and not a 2X. So I went with it, and they fit perfect.
Nice.
I ordered a set of tights from Virus also, full length tights.
Oh, Tyler, you're so trendy.
I know. I just bought the most expensive ones I could find, and because I didn't want the first pair of tights that I buy to be shitty tights, because then I'll wear them and not like them, or they'll fall off my ass.
You don't want there to be any excuses about this.
And then I'll be like, well, I'm not wearing tights; they're dumb. So it's like I'll give them a fighting chance. And so I ordered those, and those should be here.
You
tomorrow.
said you got a set of Iris ones?
Yeah, I did. So I'll be able to give a review of those.
Nice.
But in those, then the sizes were, way different. I was like definitely going to be a 2X according to their charts. So
Tanner, how do you say this sizing was for you?
I think I got an XL, and I think that's
The right
that's
choice.
Yeah, and that's per their recommendation of their charts. So
yeah, it was
seems to be good.
just enough room for a sock.
That's what I asked you after you said you got them. So here's that last item I had. In the gym, I like to hang up pictures of people competing. And at Westside, I think Louis' rule is you have to be dead in order to get hung up on the wall. We don't have any dead former members yet, and I might be waiting a while with everyone being about 30. And I think at Gold's in Venice, I don't know if you have to have won Mr. Olympia, but like a lot of people on the wall are Mr. Olympia, I think, or former Mr. Olympia. But we don't have that strict of a criteria. It's pretty much just have you done something where we have a picture of you.
And do you pay your bill every month?
Have you competed and are you a member?
So this is the most current one.
Oh, very
shit.
cool.
I haven't even seen that one yet.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten hung up yet. I'm gonna take it there tomorrow. But it's Flying Ryan.
That is badass. So we got Flying Ryan about to grab the white whale. That's the 300-pound stone.
Yeah, the big 300-pounder. Do you know who photographed this picture?
You know, if I had to guess, I would say I did.
Correct.
Okay.
And there we got Big Shane holding the fucking thing down, and Jade scaring it down.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got I think Ross is in the background there. We got
Corey.
Eve, Corey. Thick Nick's arm, I believe, is on the
Yep.
far left over there. So really, it's like a who's who of Massenomics people all in this photo. Very cool.
Brought to you by Reband.
Yeah, with the reband knee sleeve.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Maybe I'll set this back in the backdrop for a minute. So that's it for my sack.
How much heavier is your brother now than even this summer?
See, I was actually looking at pictures of us doing the car deadlift from this summer, and the the belly region has definitely grown from those pictures. Even
Isn't he? He's like 270 something now.
I think like 268.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, if he wants to make that 260-pound weight class, he'll have to just slightly dial in the diet. I mean, that shouldn't be that much. It's not like you're at 5% body fat trying to lose weight. So
Right.
at that
I
point,
think he could pretty easily.
Yeah, at that point, it's like just eating slightly better. Lose a pound a week over the next.
Don't tell him what to do.
But you know, at the same
Shut
time,
up, brother.
At the same time, weight class they don't really matter anyways. So it's whatever you want to do.
It is Ryan just trying to get as huge and strong as possible at this point, or is there some sort of thing like holding him?
No, I think he's just trying to get big.
Yeah.
I think I've also heard him say that. I think he's getting tired of eating that much.
Because he could get to 300 pounds at this rate.
Well, yeah, I don't know if getting to 300 at this rate though would be the best for strength. Like I don't know if gaining 30 pounds in a year does a lot for strength, or if that does more for body fat percentage. But I think I heard him mention one day something about like getting kind of tired of having to eat as much as he is. So I think after the competition, he said he's going to dial
Might cut
that
it
back a little bit. Which I'm going to do. I think I'm probably do the same thing too. Not that I have to eat massive amounts, but sometimes I'm just like, don't feel like eating. And I do it anyways right now, but yeah, that'll.
So everyone can be super jacked and tan for summer.
Yeah.
Beach bods.
That's, when I'm putting out the vibe on the boat, I got to look like a bronzed god over there.
On the what's the name of the boat again? Tanner.
What is it?
Do you want to know the actual name?
Yeah.
What's the brand name?
It's a Moomba Mobius.
Mobius.
Yeah, the Mobius. Okay, that's right.
It had a clever nickname. I don't remember.
I can't remember now. I don't
So you
know.
guys probably had one. I
Yeah.
feel like I've heard several. So
I think we said something last year, and I can't remember what. So Tyler will probably be one of the next people to get immortalized on the wall. He's one of the. Him and Brandon are a couple of the only people left that have competed and not gotten a picture. But I kind of like to spread out the pictures to different competitions.
Yeah, so it's not all like
Like-
they all did a thing one time.
Right. So I'm kind of waiting until maybe after the Sioux Falls one and see if we don't, a couple good pictures don't materialize out of that too.
Yeah.
Gonna definitely pack a sock then.
Could be on the wall forever. Don't want to be
yeah.
looking,
Once you're on there once, it doesn't change. So you're just stuck with whatever it was at the time.
whatever it was then.
That's funny. I did notice too. We have the picture from moving day, like almost a year ago.
Yeah.
What, 10 months
Yeah,
ago, something
yep.
like that. And maybe it's just the picture, but as I'm looking at it, I'm like, everybody is way bigger now.
It feels like
It's
it.
like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Everyone looks like kids, except
Yeah.
no one was under the age of like 24.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a year ago.
It wasn't even a year ago. But everybody looks thicker now than they did then. Thicker or just pretty much just thicker.
Yeah.
So either Mary took a wonderful, nice slimming picture back then, or we all
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
we've all been hitting the kitchen pretty hard. Anything else new down at the gym this week? You had your
Oh, I was going to talk about something kind of interesting. Getting your guys' opinion. Is this week was, I had a deadlift PR of 535, which felt pretty solid.
Yep.
I was happy with that, and
It moved good.
it moved good. And I tried something a little different this week. Is I'm normally a guy that's really into my music. Like it has to be my songs, my music. It I almost have to like wait for certain times like in the music to just get like that into it. And it helps me, no doubt about it. Like it gets me in the zone. Like, but this week I just tried like, you know what? Just kind of let whatever go and just have some more fun with it. And like, don't worry about the nose torque. Like just bring that stimulation level down a notch and just kind of have more fun and be more loose with it. And, it felt pretty good for me. So like that was something different. And I don't know I know sometimes, Tanner, you have like your song that you play and,
We will rock you. By
yeah,
playing.
it's We Will Rock You right now.
yeah. I don't
know if that's something you guys think about much when you're lifting.
I like to I like 95+% of the time to not care like for it to be whatever, and I just like to reserve that for, or even not, like just like what you're saying. I agree. I like the feeling sometimes if you go hit something and don't put on a certain song and don't do any of that, it's like, all right, well, I could do that then. Just imagine like if I'm really, really in, really, really hyped up.
I think at least for you guys, like leading up to the competition too, it's probably a good thing to be able to know that you have max effort in you without all those things being under your control. Because at some point there's a good chance you might just be, oh fuck, gotta go. It came up on me quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, with that, if you pay attention, like you do have a minute or whatever to start a lift. So even when they call your name, if you needed 20 seconds, you can have your music and get in your zone for 20 seconds before you go out there, which is nice too, because I know like our first meet, it's like they call your names like gotta go, like you don't realize like no, like a minute is a long time because it's to start the lift, isn't it, or is it to complete it? I can't even remember.
I think
now.
it's just to start it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're. Like,
I don't. At the same time, I don't think they.
clock
I don't think they really watch that.
It would
too
have to
closely
be pretty
either.
egregious.
Yeah, I
to-
think more at like the world and national level they do that. But like once you realize it's kind of on your time, like if you really need to get in this, like that helps too to know like you don't have to rush. But yeah, as far as the music goes, like my biggest thing is it just can't be music that as long as it's music that I don't dislike, it doesn't really matter much to me. It's like when it's stuff, it's like don't want to listen to this.
I hate this so
This
much.
is distracting
it's
me.
Like it's not a neutral effect. It's negative.
Yeah. So that was a big one for me on Monday, and it felt good. And same thing like Wednesday. I don't even know if I even put my music on at all. And then Friday for squat. Friday we had a fun squat day.
Thursday we did.
Thursday, that was right. Yeah,
Friday
Thursday.
came early this week.
Yeah, we were both, and I'm so used to the routine that it throws me all off. Thursday night, Tanner and I were actually both out of town for several reasons this weekend, and so we had our Friday night squat night on Thursday.
Yep.
And same thing, like the music was just kind of doing whatever, and it wasn't until about the end of the towards the end of the night where we were kind of dialing up the intensity a little bit, where we did our tandem squats together. That I was like, don't have a spotter. This is getting filmed. Don't want to mess this up. So I had to get a little more serious there. But it was when I saw the video, I was actually laughing really hard.
It made me. I kind of like the original, just the two of us.
Oh, it's
track
great.
Now I'm like, oh, good song.
What is
like,
it? Is it Bill Withers?
Is that right?
I think it's Bill Withers.
I forget now. That's how bad I am with music and everything. But
The Best of Bill Withers. Start there if you haven't. Man, that is. You have Just the Two of Us. Ain't No Sunshine.
Yeah.
He has this other song. I can't even think of how it goes, but
he's got kind of a groovy.
Oh yeah,
70s.
he's great. He's great.
He's got great teeth too.
Yeah, I like when when he drops the, like in that video of us squatting, when he drops just the two of us.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then the fist bump comes in,
Yeah.
the camera zooms in, and that's where I really start giggling. So
I've been wanting to do a partner squat in that rack, like, because that rack you can squat.
set up for it.
yeah.
So
And it was funny because we were doing our sets
Back and
it-
forth,
Yeah, it was
back
the
and
fourth
forth,
one.
yeah.
Like it just happened. We weren't planning or anything. We had done. Tanner did his fourth one, and then I did my fourth one. We were kind of sitting there talking. He goes, "You know what I want to do now, right?" I'm like, "Doubles." He goes, "Yeah." So then it had to happen,
and that was that.
which is Tanner's second doubles experience with a deflator.
Yeah, I get around.
You did it with Ryan too?
Well, I did the tandem deadlift where
Oh,
we
yeah.
deadlifted 1,106 pounds.
Chasing defays all over the place.
That's right.
Was there anything else we had from the gym this week? I think that about wraps up the gym stuff.
Yeah, that's about
I
it.
think that was I think so.
Anything else crazy happen in the world of strength?
No, I guess this will come out as we're like on the
the
return
Arnold.
trip from the Arnold. Yeah, so if you're
So
listening
you guys
to
could
this,
be in store for some really awesome
maybe
podcasts.
maybe we'll have a couple Instagram posts of us out there right now. Look
I
into
guess
that.
if you wouldn't mind calling down to the Columbus police station,
just
Check-
double
make
check.
sure
just
we're okay.
check in and making sure
Make sure
that we're
Shane's not
there.
in jail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we are in there and you'd like to bail us out, we'd really appreciate that too. I looked into having a limousine pick us up so we could really ball really hard from the airport. And then I saw the price tag and I was like, we're not balling
worth
that
it,
hard.
yeah.
We're gonna Uber.
We're gonna ball Uber hard.
Yep. We're gonna have to take like 4 Ubers to get all of us and our luggage in there.
Yeah.
Also, our first flight is going to be a like 45-seat airplane.
Yep.
So
They'll have to be strategically placing us for weight reasons.
my shoulders touch both luggage or both of the
Yeah,
overhead
when you walk
compartments
through,
when I walk
yeah.
through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that is. And then if you're on the inside seat on that one, like your head hits the thing. Like there's no. That's terrible. That one is terrible.
fortunately, that's only like a 40-minute flight. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do that, and then we'll get to stretch out with like a 4.5-hour layover before we go anywhere else.
I can't
So
imagine the flight from Minneapolis to Columbus is that long.
I think it's like an
either,
hour
is
and
it?
a half.
Yeah.
So
I hope I'm not sitting by anyone else that's
By
going
Tyler.
with us. I just don't want to be sitting like. I mean,
Is that for
it wouldn't be
smell or
comfortable to
size
sit by any
reasons?
of you. Size.
you know, though,
I hope I'm by like
a strange
yeah,
person who
a
you just-
small strange person.
Ruin someone else's
So what
day.
you want to do
Yeah.
is you want to mess up everyone that you don't know's life, so that collectively, like the 8 of us will have an impact on
Like
fucking
everyone else on the
16
plane.
people
Yeah.
and ruin their flights when it could just be the 8 of us ruining each other's flights.
Yeah.
We I don't know, part of me though, like if you're flying with somebody, like if I had to sit next to Tanner, it would just be expected. Like, sorry, bro, our elbows are touching, and the armrest is just gonna
My
be what
hand
it
has
is.
to go on your inner thigh. It's the
Our
way
legs
these-
are gonna touch, our shoulders are gonna touch, and we're just gonna get sweaty.
Like no one here is gonna be comfortable. Like,
Whatever.
You knew this was going to happen
But,
someday.
but if I sit next to some 130-pound, 70-year-old woman,
It's like sorry, I
have to-
I get
I
to,
have to,
I'm gonna
like,
take half of your spot.
I have to like shrink away from her the whole flight.
yeah.
Because she'd be ashamed to get called out.
She already has suspicions about you before you even start.
That's right. So yeah, I think that's all I got for today, guys. Do you have anything else, Tanner?
No. I was just checking to see if we had any reviews.
Any new adoring fans?
No, nothing. Dicks.
Nothing, huh? You know what, guys? I did some hiking this weekend,
Oh,
Was it gross?
and I'm not in hiking shape. There's something. Someone at Massenomics lied to me when they said I'd be in the best shape of my life because I am not in hiking shape, even close. But you know,
pretty brutal cardiovascular.
It is. I'm gonna blame the
blood pumping.
altitude.
Yeah. Safe excuse.
Yeah, definitely the altitude and not my body. But I made it through. The
Yeah.
biggest thing is my body generates so much heat on these things. I just had to keep dropping layers like in a
Yeah,
hurry.
Yeah.
Leaving
It was t-shirt weather.
It was
this
though.
weekend,
Yeah,
for
we're
sure.
not used to this 60+ degree weather. So
not for at least another 4 months.
yeah. And then a small miracle happened while I was gone, and all of the ice on my driveway melted. And like
Mine
my
did, too.
chances of falling just went down like 5,000% because I went from an ice skating rink to cement, and it's
Do you have
amazing.
the same policy I have? Like, I've only moved snow off of my driveway twice this year, and both of it was just with my snowblower. I
Yeah.
refuse to go out and like if we get 2 inches of snow, I'm not fucking
Yeah,
touching it.
that's exactly how
so
I am.
it's just gonna get packed down and turn into ice. And yeah, this weekend was the tipping point where like
Yeah.
I wasn't getting out and climbing over like a 6-inch hump of ice and risking life and limb.
People that may listen to this that live like in Southern California or somewhere that's not terribly snowy all the time, this would be interesting information for them to hear. Probably
Yeah.
like how miserable some of those.
And if
little,
you have maybe
routine
like a
things
super
are.
sweet condo that you'd like to put us up in,
Yeah.
let us know.
We're into super sweet condos. You can put up in them.
In places that don't have snow. Here at Massenomics, we're into super sweet condos. So I think that'll do it today, though, guys. Let's see. Let's the rundown. What we need.
Do you got any iTunes reviews?
That's what I was checking.
Oh, that was what
You
you were
didn't
checking.
have
Okay, okay.
No.
So on that
people.
note,
I know.
get your ass
Give
to
us something to
iTunes.
work with here.
Give us a review and we'll read it on the air.
We're giving you an hour of our time. Give us like 30 seconds of yours.
Exactly.
I mean, let's be honest. It's 2 minutes because it's a pain in the ass.
Oh,
But
yeah,
you got to
yeah.
do it. You just have to do it. That's how you can support the podcast by leaving us a review, 5-star rating. You can also support the podcast by going to Massenomics.com. Click on the store. There you can buy hats, shirts, all that other stuff. That helps us being able to travel, bring all sorts of cool stuff. So while you're there, you can scroll to the bottom of the page, sign up for our email newsletter, look up videos of Sergeant Anderson's butt when he's flipping tires. Also, go to Facebook. Make sure you like the Massenomics Facebook page. Then, after you've completed those very specific tasks,
And in that order.
In that
Do
order.
not mix that up.
then I'm going to need you to go to youtube.com/Massenomics and make sure you click subscribe. And then also share everything that you see with all your friends on Facebook and tell them,
Like, comment, subscribe.
write them letters about it. Yell while running down the street.
Massenomics is really good.
But yeah, so that'll do it for us today. You can find us on Instagram. You can find me, Tyler, at Tyler Effin Stone. That's Tyler EFFIN Stone. Tommy,
Tyler Effingston. Once again, signing off.
Tyler Effingston E.
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
The Massenomics Instagram page at Massenomics.
That'll do it for us today, guys. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. Stay strong.
You just heard the Massenomics podcast. With your ears, you're welcome. Check us out on Facebook, find us on Instagram at Massenomics, and make sure you visit Massenomics.com and buy some of that sweet Massenomics gear. From your friends at Massenomics Studio, home of the world's strongest podcast, stay strong.